Yeah, bang bang well. A lot of people on my comments here have asked me, do I know Pat Adams? Of course I know Pat Adams. I was in Albany with Pat Adams. I met Pat. I was coming down the stairs. He was on the ones. He just come in, and he was shouting and hollering. And he had a big cross around his big chain around his neck, massive chain with a big cross, massive cross, right? And he was screaming and shouting. Don't know what it was about. I think it was about he didn't want to be on the ones, but I think he eventually went upstairs to the twos or the threes. Yeah, but yeah, he was a nice guy. I used to call him the antelope. He used to run like an antelope, legs very high. He was very, very fit, Pat. Very fit. He was very particular in his friends. He was on. I was on the ones or on the twos. His mates were round to the right, and he used to be round all the time, having coffees, teas, and all that. A couple of times he's come round to me and said, "Look, come round and have a chat." But I didn't want to get involved in it. I just wanted to do my own thing. I trained. That's all I did all the time. Didn't want to get involved in all that gangsters and stuff. So I said, "No, thanks, mate." But he was a nice guy, Pat. He was a diamond, not because he is Pat Adams, because he was a diamond. Right at the very end of me being in Albany, I was always at the gym, always training. And then Pat came down and I started training Pat. He loved his arms. He wanted a big set of arms, and I showed him how to get it. And he was over the moon that his arms are getting massive. And you could see the light. He liked it. He loved me. He liked the way I talked. He liked me, yeah, and I liked him, And the next time I see Pat, he was in Maidstone prison. It was on my wing, which was wheeled wing. Stevie Doran, it was one of his mates. Who else was his mates? Bobby Dixie. There was quite a load of people in there that liked Pat Adams, yeah? Loads of them that liked Pat. Pat was always running around, meeting people, talking to people, but he had his own little firm, yeah? His own little people. Didn't really congregate too much out of that circle. And and one day I was walking around the yard, and him and Billy Blunder had a little bit of a skirmish, a few punches here and there, nothing too much. Later on, Yami said they had a fight in Chelmsford prison, a few punches here and there, nothing really happened that much. But so listen, you got two gangsters, yeah. You got Billy Blunder, who's a right heavy gangster. You got Pat Adams, who's a right heavy gangster. They didn't really get on with each other. It doesn't mean to say that the one really was better than the other. That sort of problem is when they get out of prison, sort of, because he's really, really hard whilst in prison. Pat, I like Pat because he, how can I say, he looked after me in the way, Pat, yeah. He come down to my cell quite a bit. He come down and give me bits of food. Canteen, if you want a canteen, he bought me a couple of canteens. Come down one day with a load of socks. He said, "Look, I'm going soon as you can have all these socks." Loads of socks he had. I meant to give him T-shirts and all this, and I was really, really respected him big time, mate. And he was a nice guy. A really nice guy, not because he's Pat Adams, because he was a nice guy. He's a nice, likeable guy. If he likes you, he takes you, mate, and that's it, I met him a few times outside. Nice guy, mate, nice guy. You hear a few things, this, that, and the other, about this, about that. My mate was a guy called Mickey Gooch, my best pal. He was very close to Pat. And that was it, really. Just gutted me and Pat fell out. I don't know what over, but we fell out, yeah. But he's always been a mate of mine. Always, even though we fell out, he's always been a pal of mine. But he is a very, very, very dangerous man. He's got to be respected in lots of ways, but he is dangerous. As you know, that it's a big company and they're very dangerous people. But Pat is the one, yeah. He's the one that you've got to be wary of. And I was just gutted the way things went between me and him. And we was mates. But that's how it is. Mates sometimes fall out, and sometimes they never get back together again. But that's how it is, yeah. Anyway, just a quick video about Pat and about myself, yeah. Take care. Have a nice day, yeah. Bye.